All right, welcome students. So let's explore this concept of science. What is it? And so you see here at the center screen, you've got the question written down. What is science? And so at the very end, I'm not going to make this too long for you, but let me just simplify this and explain it in these terms. Science is a way of understanding the world around us. And so let me write that down for us, make sure we get this jotted down. And so here, this is what science is. Okay, at least the way I'm going to kind of share it here with you. Science is a way that we understand the world. Okay. Now, why is this important? Because in the world, you have a lot of items that are happening. Okay, so you have events occurring. Okay, you have examples of these events. You have people playing sports, for example, or you have students going to class and they're learning there. You know, on a non-academic way, you have people engaged in work, and we can look at the different works, you know, that people do. You know, we can see that there are people who do doctors, for example, they're involved in medical work, nurses and whatnot. You can also see that there's people in construction. Okay, there's also for individuals as engineers, and so let's go ahead and write that down here. All right, and then there's also teachers, you know, and there's also people who work in civil service, and so those are things, positions that work like police officers and firemen and firewomen and all that. So I'm just going to put that here as civil. Okay, and so if you look at this here, all of these things that are happening around us, there's many things that we learn in terms of the interactions that occur there. So teachers, when they interact with students, they actually learn about best practices of how to teach the students, how students learn. If you're a civil engineer or a civil servant there, you're looking at how is it best that we can essentially allow the city to grow, or how do we provide policing in our societies or in our communities so that everybody remains safe. If you're an engineer, this is probably one that's a little bit closer, because engineers are at least in the traditional sense where you're building things, you can see that if certain processes are going to work or not work. And so essentially the products that we make as an engineer can help revolutionize and make the usefulness and utility of these products a little to become better for us. But no matter what we do here, what is going on here is that we are learning of the events or the processes that each of these little categories of the experiences, learning of experience, and learning of what is actually occurring in each of these instances. So when we talk about science, yes, it's understanding the world, but it's really understanding the world, when we look at it a little bit closer here, it's understanding the world around us because of the experiences we engage in. Okay, so in a nutshell, this is what science is, but keep in mind that there is a method to the way we do this. It's not just random happenstance. In fact, quite to the contrary, the method that we use is known as the scientific method. Since science is this process or this way of understanding the world, how you understand the world matters. And so that process there, and I'm just going to go ahead and identify this here in red, the process that we use here is equal to the scientific method. Okay. And a little later video would explain that to you, but remember that this is a cyclical process that begins with a certain level of understanding. Typically, it's assumed that you don't have very much understanding about a general topic, or you may have a little bit of understanding, but over time, the way you go through these processes, steps in the scientific method is what allows our understanding to grow. But for this video, what is science? Science is the way we understand the world because of the experiences we engage in. Okay? So if you haven't already done so, click subscribe, keep learning, keep watching, and we'll see you in the next video.